So today I'm going to be reviewing the new Nevereverfull in the Cargo edition. So if you guys watch my channel, you might be a little surprised to see this bag in my collection, given I am a self-proclaimed Neverfull hater. I have said so many negative things about the Neverfull on my channel, so even I was a little surprised when I found myself adding this to the cart. But there are so many things that I love about this bag, so I am really excited to share a full review with you today. I'll be talking through the features, what fits, size comparisons, the pros and cons, and then obviously I will leave you with my overall thoughts on this bag. So if we haven't met, my name is Jo and I'm a lover of all luxury bags and beauty. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe and be sure to click the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So normally at this point I would cut into an overhead view of this bag, but this thing is so gigantic that I actually am going to have to be a little more brave and do a full review with me in front of the camera. So be gentle with me, I am a little new with this. But I want to share a little bit about the history of this bag. So this is the Nevereverfull, which is the largest Neverfull in the collection. So actually, if we were to turn this bag around, you will see that it looks just like a regular Neverfull. However, this one is substantially larger and it is, I think, the newest version of the bag to the collection. This was released in 2024 by Pharrell as the menswear creative director. So the first one that I had ever seen in this size was the blue denim damier version. It was like the 3D damier print, and it is absolutely gigantic. I remember watching a review of it on Jerusha Couture, her channel, and I was like, wow, that is a really big bag. So if you want to watch her review, I'll be sure to include that in my description below. Now this version here is very new. This one was released in July of 2026. And I feel like this is one of the first times where they've really added all of these pockets to the front. So this is definitely more unique in terms of some of the styles we've seen with the Neverfull. So let's go ahead and talk through some of the features of this bag. So while this does look like all of the other Neverfulls in terms of shape and silhouette, there are some noticeable differences. The first one is my favorite feature, which is the fact that this bag does have a zipper across the top. This was one of my biggest beefs of the Neverfulls in general, that they did not have a full zipper. So they finally listened to us and put a zipper closure on the top of this gigantic version. Another notable difference is on the interior. It doesn't have the like striped canvas that the other Neverfulls have. It is just a plain brown. But it does have this gigantic pocket that goes all the way across the interior of the bag. It is really honestly very sizable. And then I don't know if you can see, but it does have these two additional pockets here on the front facing side of the bag. There is also a little ring here. I think you could put like a key ring on there as well. Another thing that is different about the bag is the thickness of the straps. So the straps, I would say, are almost probably twice as thick as the regular Neverfull bags. So it definitely adds a lot more comfort when you're wearing it. It's not digging into your shoulders like the original version. Another notable thing, and this is the other thing that I really love, is the fact that the Vachetta leather on this piece is already pre-treated. So you can see it is this beautiful honey color already. It reminds me of the same way that they treated the leather on the Trocadero wearable wallet. It almost has like a vintage feel to it. Likewise, like the Trocadero, the hardware on this bag also has like a brass, like antiqued finish to it, which is something that I like in terms of style as well. Now let's get to what makes this cargo version so special. So this one has a number of pockets on the front. It has this long pocket here, which you can use for a variety of things. I would hold like a water bottle in here. This pocket here is also quite spacious. And then my favorite pocket is this one right here. I love zippers and pockets and stuff on bags. I don't know why, it's just a thing of mine. And so this pocket here is very spacious. Like you can fit a lot. You can even fit like a tablet and things in here as well. The piece also comes with a luggage tag, which kind of reminds me of, you know, on Keepalls and things, they provide luggage tags as well. So I think that is a nice added benefit. Something to note though is that while most of the normal Neverfull bags do come with a pochette, like an interior one, this one did not come with a pochette. I don't know if it's because they would argue that you have all these other extra pockets, so they didn't include one, but that is something that I would say is worth noting. So in terms of the dimensions of this bag, this is about 22 to 23 inches across. I believe at the bottom, it's like probably like 14 or 15 inches at the bottom. In terms of the thickness at the base, it's about 8 inches. And then in terms of height, it's about 14 inches. In terms of weight, this bag definitely is heavy. It is, I think, about 3 pounds. I tried to weigh it on my scale, but it was really big, so it was hard to weigh. But yeah, it is very weighty because it is just such a big bag and there is so much material. And I will say that the canvas on this one feels very thick. It almost feels like more of the vintage pieces I have versus like the newer, thinner, softer types of canvas that we have seen in more recent Louis Vuitton styles. So let's talk about the price of this bag though. So this Nevereverfull Cargo version is $3,800. That is arguably stupidly expensive, especially when you compare it to other bags at Louis Vuitton. So the Neverfull GM, for example, while it is smaller than this bag, it is still pretty big. That bag is $2,310. That's, you know, a pretty big price hike between the GM and this Nevereverfull size. Then you could also compare it to, let's say, the Keepall 50. So the Keepall 50 is about 20 inches long. And that one, I believe, is somewhere between $2,600 or $2,700. So again, this bag is definitely in a whole like price tier above, I would argue, than even some of their other travel bags in their collection. All right, so let's do a size comparison. So obviously the first one to compare to is this Neverfull. So I don't have a Neverfull GM, but I do have the MM size. This is the bag that I hate so much in my collection, but it was my first bag I ever purchased from Louis Vuitton, so I'll never get rid of it. But I figure since it's so popular, we'll be able to do a pretty good size comparison of the two. So as you can see, the Nevereverfull is substantially larger than the MM size. In fact, I found that I can actually fit the MM size into my Nevereverfull with no issues. So clearly a lot bigger. So as you can see on our regular Neverfull, they have these extra little, I don't know, strappy things here. I never use them. Like I never cinch my Neverfull in. So these are kind of useless to me. Those aren't included on this Nevereverfull. Also, again, on the normal Neverfulls, there's no zipper. There's just these little like clasps here. But again, I love the zipper on the Nevereverfull. And then also, I don't know if I can show you here, the difference in the strap thickness. Again, I find the Neverfull straps to be really uncomfortable, but the strap that is on the Nevereverfull is a lot more comfortable to wear. And then just for fun, I thought I would share a size comparison of my Neverfull BB compared to this gigantic Nevereverfull. Look at this. It's just, they're so cute. This one could be like a bag charm on this gigantic bag. It is so big, but all right, this is a useless size comparison, but I just thought it was really cute. All right, so let me show you what I can actually fit into this bag. So for this example, I have it packed as if I was going to use this as a weekender bag. So I'll start with this main pocket here. So as you can see, I'll start with the packing cube. So this has like 4 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, a romper, a button down, clothes to wear to bed, all of my clothing items. And if you need a packing cube, I would definitely recommend this one. This is from Bag Smart, and it helps like to compress all of your items so they're very packer friendly. Then I have this holds another pair of shoes. I have my Truce 23. This would be my toiletry pouch for all of my makeup products. I have my niece vanity. This is the mini size. This holds all of my toiletries. Then I just have an extra pouch for like catch-all items, jewelry, other things, medicine, whatever. And then I would have my extra purse, which you guys know I often travel with this little mini Palace clutch. Now, I didn't actually put anything in these compartments, but obviously, again, there is plenty of room to put things in this middle section. Then in the front pockets, I have this little pocket here is very spacious. So I have an iPad mini. In this pocket here, I have a little Prada pouch. This has all of my electronics in it. And then in here, I have the cutest little water bottle. It's so cute. Okay, this is not practical. Obviously, you're gonna wanna drink more water than this. I do believe I could get like a normal plastic water bottle that you fit. It would probably fit in here, but again, this one's cute. All right, so now let's talk through the pros and cons of this bag. First off, I do wanna preface with, I intend to use this solely as a travel bag. This will not be a work bag for me. I certainly won't be wearing this as a purse because it is absolutely gigantic. But I do think that this is going to be exactly what I was looking for a travel personal item that I can carry onto a plane, or else a perfect weekender bag. So if you watch a lot of my travel vlogs or other videos where I'm talking about bags that I'm packing, you'll notice that I almost always have a different bag in all of those videos. And it's because I have constantly been on the hunt for my holy grail of travel bag. And none of the bags that I have tried in the past have like really done it for me. And so I have tried from Louis Vuitton alone, the Carryall PM, I believe it was called, the Retiro GM, the Flannery bag, which they're actually bringing back. I hated that bag, just between you and me, but they're bringing that one back. I had a Keepall 50 as well. And I just feel like I haven't found a bag until now that I really feel like fit the function I was looking for, as well as feeling like there's good wear and tear and all of those things to it. I do think that this bag does check a lot of the boxes for me. So let's actually talk about some of the pros and cons. Starting with the pros, I will say that I love the fact this has a zipper. That was one of the first things that sold me on it. Because again, my big beef with the Neverfull is that it didn't have a zipper. So the fact that it has a zipper, and it is a nice zipper, like it reminds me of their luggage grade zippers. So I really enjoy that aspect. I also love the size. So I, whenever possible, never check my bag when I am flying. And so I need to have as much room as possible. And I like to also have a bag that has a little bit extra room, because whenever I go shopping, I want to be able to make sure I can pack stuff when I come home. So I like to bring the biggest bags that I can find. So I do think this one checks the box in that way. I also love the fact that the leather is treated. You guys know that raw vachetta always just makes me feel like I cannot relax when I'm using the piece. I'll put up with it sometimes, but having the leather pre-treated is a major pro for me. I personally also love all of the pockets. I am just a pocket person. So all of these extra pockets on here, I feel like adds a little more style to the bag, and also I think adds a lot of function to it as well. I also love the shoulder drop on this bag. It's not too long, like the Flannery was really long on me. This one I can slip my arm through with no issue and not have to like feel like I have to, hit my elbow against the edge of the bag. It just goes on really nicely. So I do feel like it is very comfortable to wear, and it is easy to use, which for me, when you're traveling, that's what you're looking for, right? Now, I will say I just got this piece, so these are all my initial reactions to the bag. Obviously, I'll be traveling a little more, especially as we get towards the end of the year. So let me know in the comments below if you would like me to do a follow-up video with wear and tear and my thoughts after actually traveling with this bag, and I'll be sure to share more of my reactions after I've gotten to use it more, but I am really confident that I'm going to love traveling with this. So let's talk a bit about the cons, because there are some cons as well to note. First off, obviously the price. The price is stupid. I already said that. This is a really expensive bag, and there's no way around that. Especially when you compare it to other bags that are similar either in style or in function. You can get other options at Louis Vuitton that are significantly less than this. So that is definitely a con in that sense. Another con I would say is the weight of the bag. It is pretty heavy. Now for me, I don't really intend to be carrying this on my shoulder for long periods of time. Again, my intent was that this will sit on top of my carry-on roller bag as I'm going through the airport. This will be, you know, something that I transfer from my car into my hotel. So I'm not going long walking distances. So for me, I don't mind that, but that would be something that other people I know will definitely take into account. Something else that I will note that I wish they had, like, I don't think it's a con, but if they added this feature, I think this bag would be like the absolute holy grail. The only thing that is missing for me is I wish that there was a back pocket to this bag that had a like zipper underneath so that you could use it as a trolley pass on a carry-on suitcase or a luggage. And then if you didn't use this for a travel bag, you could zip the pocket at the bottom shut, and that way it could be a functioning pocket. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. I have seen other bags do this, and I think that it is a really great way to add more versatility to the piece. And then that way, you know, you can, you know, carry this on your luggage at the airport with full confidence. It's not just going to fall off accidentally if you hit a bump. I think this is pretty sturdy overall. Like, it's got such a thick base, and the handles are long enough that I can hold it while I'm holding the handle of my carry-on. But like I said, if they had added that, this would be like 1000% the best travel bag that I'd ever seen type situation. But yeah, so I think that that would be, I don't know if it's a con, but again, something I wish they had on this bag. Another thing, and this is easily fixable, but I will note that the bottom of this bag isn't very sturdy. So if you put a lot of heavy things in, it will like sag a bit like this. So that's easily fixable. You can put like a base insert in there or something if it really is an issue, but that's just something I will note as well. And then finally, something else I think that some people will consider a con is the fact that this doesn't come with the extra pochette. I will say I honestly don't mind that. While I always love getting freebies, and you guys know how I feel about SLGs, I just find that, especially with my Neverfull MM, I was all excited when it came with an extra pouch, but I have like never used that thing. I rarely use it. And so for me, I think it'd be cool to get something a little extra, but I just don't find a use for those types of really large flat pouches. Like if it had gussets on it or something so it could expand, that would be a totally different story. But since normally on the Neverfull bags, it's just this like really like flat, wide and long pouch, I just don't find those ones very useful for me. So I would rather trade that in for these more functional pockets on the front of the bag. I do think the other Nevereverfulls do come with pouches. It's just maybe this one. But for people that like those types of like additional items included, that could definitely be considered a con on this bag. So would I recommend this piece? I'm going to say 100% yes. Do I think that the price is stupid? Yes. So I will caveat that you do not need this bag. This bag is definitely a splurge, and there are plenty of other travel bags out there that are just as functional, if not more functional, that you could find at a fraction of the price. So you do not need this in order to travel well, but if you are looking for a splurge piece, if you are a huge Louis Vuitton fan and you love their travel types of bags, I do think this is an excellent option. It, again, checks off so many of the boxes that I was looking for in a travel personal item. So I'm really excited to use this piece. So that wraps up this video. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending a little time with me. I feel like, again, this was a little different format than I'm used to, so hopefully you enjoyed me being in front of the camera more. As always, I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this bag. Are you a Neverfull lover? What do you think about this piece overall? I have heard some people say they thought it looked like a diaper bag. I didn't list that in the cons, but I don't know. I don't think it looks like a diaper bag, but hey, mamas out there, if you want a diaper bag, you deserve all the luxury in the world for being an awesome mom. Go ahead and treat yourself is what I would say. But let me know what you think overall in the comments about this piece. Or let me know what bags that you use when you travel, because again, there are so many great options that are out there. As always, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you as a part of this community. And if you want to watch more of my content, I'll be sure to include a playlist here, and YouTube will share their recommended video here. Otherwise, bye for now.